Oh, hello, and welcome to another Trippy food tale from the vault. On today's episode, we go back to 2012, when I visited Lindy and Grundy, a butcher shop in Los Angeles, unfortunately closed now. I got a nice piece of pork spleen that I decided to cut. Today's episode takes you through the cooking process and me enjoying the spleen afterwards, so please enjoy. I went down to Lindy and Grundy the other day, which is our local butchers, when I saw that they had spleen. Now, I wasn't really familiar with the spleen. I know it was an internal organ. This is a pork spleen. You hear people talk about being, stabbed in the heart, shot in the lungs. You never hear anything happen to your spleen, and most people don't even know what it is. So basically it's an organ that stores blood, and it has regenerative properties only when it's functioning. This is a pork spleen, and since it's very long, I like it because it looks like some sort of primitive eel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into 3 segments, and then I'm going to do it in a pan. I've looked up some recipes for it. Some of them talk about braising it. Other ones talk about chopping it and doing it as a crostini. I don't know. I'm going to kind of do a half saute, half braise, and see what we come up with. So let's get started. I'm going to do this pretty simply. I thought about maybe dredging it through some milk and putting some flour on it, and I don't think I'm going to go that crazy. So what I've done here is, since this is a pork spleen, I have some bacon fat. It's actually pretty clear for bacon fat, but I have some bacon fat from breakfast, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop these pieces in and sear them. And I swear that looks like a tongue. I'm going to sear these, and then once those are seared, I'm going to put in some chopped onions. I'm going to let those brown a little bit, and I'll add some beef stock, and I know it's not pork, but it's hard to find good pork stock, and some high quality white Zinfandel from Charles Shaw, otherwise known as 2-Buck Chuck. That smells really good. Kind of a weird looking, it definitely looks like tongue, but I know that it's spleen, so we're going to let that brown. Oh, that's nice. Now the funny thing is that these are full of blood because the organ acts as a storage device for blood. So they're very rich in blood, rich in iron. And it definitely has a nice smell to it. You can see some blood coming out of that. Okay, those are browning up really good. I'm going to go ahead and add the onions in. Let those brown up a little bit. Well, it's actually turning it a little bit brown. And because spleen is most commonly found as an Italian dish, usually it's braised or even boiled and then sliced and put on a sandwich, I'm going to use some Italian seasoning. Trying to turn these and make sure that they cook evenly. Okay, so now I'm going to add some beef stock. And a little bit of the wine. Usually with beef spleen, where it's a lot thicker, most of the recipes say to cook it for at least an hour. This is a little bit smaller, being that it's a pig spleen, it's a little bit thinner. So I may give this about a half an hour or so. Let me turn down the heat a little bit and then get a lid on that. And we're going to leave that alone until we have something decent. Okay, our meal's complete. It has a very nice smell, probably the wine. I mean, it doesn't smell sometimes awful, or organs have a funny smell to it. I also made some potatoes with it. I used some baby potatoes, maybe very small baby potatoes, and it had some Peruvian blue potatoes in here, which I think kind of came out cool because it almost looks like little coins or checkers or something. So we're going to go ahead and try a piece of this. And the sauce cooked down really nice. I just put it on top of that, so it was the onions and what cooked down from the beef broth and the wine. So we're going to go ahead and try a piece of this. Wow. Surprised. I was expecting it to have a very, very strong, awful taste. Very like an organ meat. The texture is very similar to turkey liver. Not even beef liver. And the taste is a lot more mild. I know other people who have eaten spleen before, including Andrew Zimmern, who said that it tasted like a swamp or it tasted, dirty or muddy. I don't get that at all. Yeah, I guess he had beef spleen. This is pork spleen. It's really mild. Again, very similar to me, turkey liver, texture-wise, and I guess a little bit of pork flavor, but nothing, nothing foul, nothing that would put somebody off. So this came out really good.
Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.